All right, YouTube, we got another build on our hands. This time for another client. This one is going to be a little different. It's going to be a bench with a shoe rack underneath and a backrest support, and also a coat rack that goes behind the door. So I'll show you the plans here in a second. So these are the preliminary sketches that I came up with that the client has okayed, and we're gonna move forward with this. Now, I don't get any of my plans online. I do all of this myself, and I do it based on the measurements of the space that I'm working with. So the idea came from the client who found something on Pinterest. We're gonna make that fit in the space that we are given. So I have an assortment of different woods here. The client has asked for the bench to be able to support 300 plus pounds. And with the wood I'm using, it will definitely be able to support more than that. So for the legs, I'm going to be using oak, and also for the support, I'm going to be using some poplar. Now, as for the coat rack, this is also going to be poplar, and it will be able to withstand anything that they put at it. So with that and the plans, let's get to it. All right, let's try one of these magic movie editing things. I think all you gotta do is just like cover the screen, and then transforms your project like right away. Maybe. Oh wait, that's not it. Let's try that again. No, almost there. Maybe one more time. Oh, there it is. I guess it worked. All right, let's get to the rest of the video. All right, so first things first, safety, eye pro and ear pro. We're gonna be working on the coat rack first. So you're gonna see me cut that all down, and then I'm gonna cut it up using my Craig jig, connect it, and then attach my hardware. So let's get to that, and then we'll get to the rest of the shoe rack. All right, now as you can see from my test piece here, we got everything lined up and buttoned up, square. And so now all I'm gonna have to do is get this painted and get my hardware on. But we're gonna have to do that to the actual piece. So let's get to it. All right, now that we've got our board assembled, I've got all of my hooks in place so we can measure out the distance in between each one to make sure we are correct. And with that information, I'll know exactly where to drill in each one of these. But these are not gonna stay silver. So before we leave them in place, we're gonna have to give them a good coat of paint. So we'll get to that portion. All right, now it's time to cut down our base and our support for the core of our bench. We're gonna be using the table saw over here. It's not mine, I borrowed it from my neighbor. He's an awesome guy. So, see how it goes. All right, now to keep you guys in the loop, currently I'm going to drill in my pilot holes so that way I can have my screws go directly in to my supporting legs. I'm going to have 4 pilot holes for each leg. And so I'm getting my measurements so I can have them evenly spaced apart so that way the screws aren't going all over the place. right, so update on the project. It's been a couple of days. I had an opportunity to show the client a mock-up of what this bench is going to look like. And after they saw it, they decided to go against the trim that's surrounding this. And that's no big issue, and that's no hard fix. So we're gonna go ahead and give the client what they want, because obviously they're paying for this. So we wanna make sure that everybody is as happy as possible with every product that is given to them. So we're gonna get to removing that. And then they also requested that the backrest get rounded out. So I'm gonna work on that. And then the last step is to get the paint and start painting it. All right, so we got the trim removed and we got the corners all beveled down. So now we wait on paint. All right, so it's been a few days. We've finally gotten our paint from the customer. They want this metallic silver to go on the top and the backrest, as well as for the coat rack. So all three of those pieces are sitting over there ready to be painted with this. And the base will be painted in white. I've already painted all of my coat hooks and all of the screws for it. So we're gonna use our Graco airless paint sprayer that I just picked up and see how this tackles this job, as opposed to a paintbrush and a roller. Now, you probably couldn't tell just based on the time lapse how fast that was, but I painted all three of these in less than 3 minutes, maybe 5. But I mean, it's there, it's all done. These two pieces are just for support, but the rest of that is painted. Now, I did realize something. You do have to keep this upright while you're painting it, maybe with a little bit of a tilt, but for the most part it has to be upright. So you really won't be able to paint like upside down or anything else like that. So we're just gonna let these sit out and dry in the sun, and we'll check and see if we need to put another coat on the top. If we don't, we'll flip them over, get the back parts that we missed, and carry on with the white. All right, now that our pieces are dry, we can now flip these over and paint the backside. But I will say, one coat made this very even and very smooth. And as you saw, it took no time at all. So let's finish the rest. All right, now we got our coat on our backside because we did not put a second coat on these. But as you can tell, just one pass with this paint sprayer is enough to coat it to where you don't need a second coat. Now the customer does want me to put a coat of polyurethane on top of this. So once this dries, I'm gonna throw some polyurethane on it, let that dry, and we'll be done. We'll assemble it, put it together. All right, now that all of my layers are dry, I flipped everything back over to the top so that way I can seal it all with some polyurethane. This is clear gloss, so when it goes on here, it'll give it that nice shine and protect it from any stains or any damage. So, I already got it inside of my paint sprayer, and let's get to spraying. All right, now that we've gotten our top pieces all painted up and sealed, it's now time to work on the base, which we're gonna spray in white. I already have the white all inside the paint sprayer and primed, so just gotta spray it and see how it looks. Now that we have all of our pieces dry, it's time to start assembling everything. So, I'm gonna take it all out, put it all together. First thing I'm gonna start with is the coat rack. All right, now we just got to mount it to the base and secure it. Like that, we are all done. Take a look at that. These color choices were picked up by the customer, so the sheen you see on this is like a metallic silver, and it really stands out, especially against that white. Let me know what you guys think, but that'll do it for this one. If you guys like this stuff, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe.